Good evening and welcome to the Ordinance Intergovernmental Relations Committee. Today, Tuesday, December the 12th, 2023. This is 7:30? 7:30. We have joined City Council President Matt LaPlante. Also, we had Selena Reyes, City Council at Large, on my right, and myself, Anna Levy, Council at Large. Pursuant to Charter 20 of the Act of 2022, this meeting of Ordinance Committee is being conducted both in person and via remote participation. A reminder that persons who would like to listen or to view this meeting while in progress may either attend in person at the location above or use any of the following as locations: Lawrence City Council page on Facebook or Lawrence City Council page on YouTube. So we have minutes to approve for 11/28/23. Can I hear a motion, please? All those in favor? Aye. The ayes have it. Well, we have the council present now. I'm going to give the chair to her. Wow. Thank you. Well.
Do we have any items that we're going to be taking out of order? We're just going to start?
Yes.
Okay, so, okay. The first item is document 46323, request for enforcement of declaration judgment regarding 341 South Broadway. Jeffrey Petrillo.
Good evening, Ordinance Committee. My name is Jeffrey Petrillo. I live at 341D South Broadway. And yes, that's what we're asking the committee to do, to enforce a declaratory judgment that was made by Judge John Liu, on March 29th, 2021. Where he ordered a judge and declared. You should have that in your package that I handed you. It's right on the top. Okay?
I believe we do, yes.
Okay.
You may
as long as you
continue.
have it, I'm not going to reread it for you. I'm just going to get into my stuff that I've set aside to talk about. So far, as it stands, the Petrillos, with respect to lot number 18, it's map 97, lot number 18, which does not have an official address, but if it did, it would be 341C South Broadway, but it's otherwise known in the city map as map 97, lot number 18, so I will be referring to that lot in question that's not being enforced for the last 15 or so years, maybe 20 years, but particularly since 2005, and particularly since 2017, when the new owner of A&M Auto Body purchased the place from the old Metropolitan Auto Body owners, the Martin Family Trust. And that was on July 12th of 2017. So since then, we've been having problems, and we've had to litigate this in court, as well at the zoning board, the planning board, January 25th, 2018, August 1st, 2018, and the city council on October 16th of 2018, and as far as I recollect, we're 3 wins and no losses. We also have 2 wins at the Superior Court level in front of Judge James Lang for a preliminary land injunction on June 17th of 2018, and a permanent land injunction was awarded to us by Judge John Liu on March 29th of 2021. What the plaintiffs believe, and I'm referring to us as the plaintiffs, is what we believe you are in fact doing is giving Angelo Memolo and Attorney Caruso a free pass at another bite at the apple, which you can't do anyway according to the judge's declaration. Knowing that Judge Liu said on 3/29/2021, it is ordered, a judge, and declared that the November 7, 2018 vote of the City Council allowing the petition of A&M Auto Body shall be and hereby is vacated and invalid. We said, what part of that do you not understand? But we meant it seriously. The plaintiffs believe, the plaintiffs, which is us, the Petrillos, believe that you are allowing, with prejudice, many other opportunities to the defendants to carry this legal debate over lot number 18 from now to infinity. I mean, it can go in circles. But I want to cut this off. I have an understanding recently, since October and November, and recently with the planning board and the zoning board, that even if he exercises his right to appeal the recent cease and desist order that was issued by the Director of Inspectional Services and Building Commissioner, Peter Blanchett, he's not going to win. So it's just really pointless. So, like I said, many other opportunities to the defendants to carry this legal debate over lot number 18 from now into infinity, when it is clear-cut what Angelo Memolo is factually doing at lot number 18, along with city and state laws that prohibit this type of spot zoning, where it's defined where he's basically taking his own spot zoning. He was never given it. This type of spot zoning and junkyard storage use. We assert that the legal parlance that you are doing is called discrimination with regard to selective enforcement, as well as providing Angelo Memolo and Attorney Caruso one more means of stalling so as to give Angelo Memolo more time to use lot number 18 illegally. No licenses, no permits. And non-conforming, non-permitted use, and quite clearly to the defendant's advantage and to the detriment and demise of the plaintiffs, the Petrillos. Clearly, these actions are not in accordance to the public's need and/or public's interest. It is now believed that what you are doing is opening Pandora's box to the plaintiffs, asking, what's next? Are you saying that you are opening the floodgates for Angelo Memolo to what appears to be Angelo Memolo taking over lot number 18 via his own self-proclaimed eminent domain, which falls back on your far too liberal approach at not following the lead of the ZBA and the Planning Board in the Superior Court's judgments against lot number 18 and Angelo Memolo? Whereas the plaintiffs believe if you followed Mrs. Louise Ferris's enforcement playbook, we know 100% Angelo Memolo's continuous idea of occupying lot number 18 would have been gone years ago. As it stands, the plaintiffs, the Petrillos, are correct. Lawrence's and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts land use laws are quite clear. In order for the ZBA or the Superior Court to grant eminent domain or spot zoning or junkyard storage use permits or licenses or permission to use lot number 18 legally, the defendants must first show both public need as well as favoring the public's interest, meaning that lot number 18's use is not detrimental to the neighborhood or the public's interest. not presentations about Angelo Memlo's desire. Desire does not make the laws. Public need is defined as for essential public services like hospitals, schools, and highways, not for spot zoning relief or junkyard storage use for lot number 18, or an individual's personal desire, such as Angelo Memlo. For your information, the plaintiffs have already demonstrated in Superior Court twice and received 2 favorable judgments that allowing lot number 18 spot zoning and junkyard storage use of lot number 18 would not be in the public's need or public's interest via a state Supreme Court judgment legal precedent case known as LeClaire versus the City of Norwell. Whereas the defendants, A&M Auto Body et al. And Angelo Memlo, have shown no legal merit or no legal imperative, the plaintiffs believe the defendants are not allowed another appeal to be put to another vote by the ZBA or the City Council. And I stress legal imperative, because basically essentially what's happened is, what he's done is, he's gone through the motions with the ZBA, the Planning Board, and the City Council. He's lost. He gave it a shot, and what he's saying essentially is, I don't care, I'm still going to use the lot the way I want to, until somebody shuts me down. We jokingly said, what is he waiting for? The United States Army, National Guard, Maura Healey to show up and say, no, you can't do it because you've been ordered by 2 Superior Court judges? You said no. No is no. Accordingly, the plaintiffs advising and adamantly request that you recuse your motion under 29-32 and revoke A&M Auto Body et al. And Angelo Memlo's provisionary rights to appeal to the ZBA under 29-32, which is essentially what Peter Blanchett did. And we're protesting that type of punishment because in the past, as part of your packet, if you look at the cease and desist orders that was issued by Louise Ferris back in 1996 to the Martineaus, she said 72 hours. We had recommended this to Peter Blanchett because we felt that his sanctioning of the owner's lot number 18 use is inappropriate, very inappropriate, in light of the 2 Superior Court judges' ruling and orders judgments against the owner and lot number 18 being used for spot zoning, junkyard storage use, and basically anything that's against residential 2 zoning use. And it's very clear by the pictures that we sent to you this afternoon, that's not happening. So we basically protested that.
Mr. Perillo, you know this is not a case that is new, at least not for me. And I know there has been a lot of back and forth in this case. Unfortunately, in order for us just to kind of move this forward, we need to have our city attorney present here and answer all the questions that I know from your part, and believe me, I don't want you to speak twice. And if we have to do, let's call committee as a whole, special meeting, just to take care of this matter, we will. What I'm going to do, if it's okay with my colleagues, we are going to be tabled and we're going to ask our city attorney to be present to our next ordinance committee to audit whatever we need to do, because I'm never going to go beyond any decision based with the court and all the papers that we have in front of us. So I know that you and we have exchanged phone calls. This is nothing new, and that's what I like, and that's what I like about you, because you are open to work with whatever it takes. So at this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to table and send correspondent to the city attorney to be present to our next ordinance committee meeting, which we can open a discussion and the other party also can be present. So that way we don't have to come back with the same issues like yes, we have the documentation and it's legit, but we have to make sure that we also cover ourselves. So we are gonna be tabled the item, and I'm gonna send correspondent to the city attorney to be present, and we send correspondent to you. It's not that you're gonna be out or left out. You're coming back, the other party's coming back, and the city attorney is gonna be, okay? So
Okay,
motion-
I'd just like to make one additional comment. I'm accepting that, what you just said, coming back. But the reality is, by way of the two Superior Court judges' judgments, their ruling and orders, in reality, according to Chapter 40A and Section 7, regarding enforcement of zoning regulations, it says right at the top, which you have a copy of, the inspector of buildings, building commissioner, or local inspector, or if there are none in a town, the Board of Selectmen, or person or board designated by local ordinance or by law, shall be charged with the enforcement of the zoning ordinance or bylaw, and shall withhold the permit for the construction, alteration, or moving of any building or structure if the building or structure as constructed, altered, or moved would be in violation of any zoning ordinance or bylaw. Okay, I don't want to keep reading on it, but it basically gave the Director of Inspectional Services, which we went to in 2021, as soon as that happened, we know that at that meeting, the present city attorney, Timothy Houghton, was present. He received the judge's ruling and order within days or hours after that. He should have known, in our book, to go directly to either Peter Blanchett or the Director of
Which is
Inspection
why,
Services.
Mr. Perillo, which is why I want to table this item at this level now. It makes, not that it's, I don't want to say that it's not making any sense, because you took your time to be here in front of us. But I think what is going to be more appropriate is just to ask our city attorney to be present to our next ordinance committee meeting, and if he feels like that inspection director have to be present, he also have to bring him up. So
Well, the
at
thing
this-
is also this,
Yeah,
Council and lead chair. In the next law that I provide you with, it's about licenses.
I know, Mr.
And it says
Perillo,
junkyards.
I know. We have a-
1,000 feet from a
Yes,
highway.
I know.
He's 10 feet.
I know. So we are gonna table it.
Okay.
Can I get a motion to table document 46323, and also to send correspondent to our city attorney to be present to our next ordinance committee meeting?
So moved.
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor? The ayes have it. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Perillo. Always a pleasure to see you. Merry Christmas if I don't see you before them. Council, can I get a motion to take document 146, I believe is table item. Let me just get that. Yes, 14623, out of order and out of table. Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor? The ayes have it. Document 14623, proposed ordinance regarding stipends. It has been put in the agenda by City Council Rich Russell. It was referred to our city attorney. It's 146. Mr. Arnello, are you here for this item?
Yes,
This
I
is the
received
item?
correspondence from the council office to appear tonight.
The good thing is the author of this item is present, and if he wants to add or ask any question, I think this is the time to.
Yeah, I have Personnel Director
Councilor
with me as
Russell,
well.
your item is up.
Richard Russell, 36 Cross Street, 34 Cross Street. Yeah, that
You move.
36 is the house I grew up in Lynn.
Okay, but it's 34. You still reside at
Okay,
34, right?
The city attorney wrote this ordinance request at my request. He sent it down to me, I said, yes, it looks good. Sent it back up to him, he sent it down to city clerk sent it to the council sent it to you. You people sent it back up to city attorney for him to check his own work. And then it got lost. All right. It came back down, and as my understanding, about a month ago, when Mark was sitting in, filling in for one of the missing councilors, that it was going to be sent directly over to the council for whatever, discussion, only to find out that it went up to Mark's office, CAFU, okay? And that's where it got lost, and, you know, it kind of frustrates me. The thing's been sitting there for 8 months. You know, 8 months, I see people get stop signs faster than that. I realize what this is. It is taking power away from people to reward, I use the quotation marks around the word reward, people for their employment skills. I do remember that, what is it, Section 5 of, part of Section 5 of the city ordinance, that the council is the caretaker of the city's finances. The council should be the one that's approving stipends, not the powers that be. Let the department head come down and justify it. Let the stipend be in power for 1 year. It expires at the end of the fiscal year. I mean, all of that is delineated out in the ordinance that Attorney Hooton wrote for me. I don't know what more I can say about it. I'm trying to look after the finances of the city for the taxpayers.
Present is that he has anything to add into this?
Well, the only thing I have to add is, I'm not really sure what it's amending. It's amending Section 304.250 of the municipal code, but I couldn't find anything.
Supposedly,
So, I don't know, unless that's passed, the ordinances that are on the city's website, anyway, it doesn't have this section, so maybe it was passed
this may have
last
been
year.
the ordinance number that city attorney created for this.
Okay,
item. I'm
so
not
this would be
sure.
a new, yeah, I don't know, it just seems to be, what this is doing is, as Mr. Russell explained, was trying to put some parameters around stipends. However, since we've had a new non-union compensation plan, we don't really have any stipends in the city, and I think we kind of accomplished the same thing. I'm not sure if we need to have any stipends, but if we did want to pay stipends, this would be the way we would do it.
As far as I know right now, and I talked with Donna Cole, she said there's only 2 stipends being paid. The secretary, confidential secretary for the city attorney, she's getting $100 a week, $200 per pay period. And then, I'm not sure of the individual's name, the grant writer, she's getting almost $1,800 per pay period, $900 a week on top of her salary, which I think is a little bit preposterous. You want to pay them the salary, I have no problem paying them the salary. But to pay somebody a stipend that is more than their salary, no. That goes against my cheap New England heritage.
Yeah, I'll have to double check that, because I believe the grant writer was included in the non-union compensation plan, so I don't believe that stipend was necessary after we did that. There is an issue with the city attorney secretary, though. There was a second job, that was somebody's job that she was taking. I'll have to check into that as well, because again, I think the salary can be changed without a stipend being paid.
When I asked Attorney Hooton to create this, at the time, I think there
You
was,
say to create this is this that we have in our package?
yes,
So this is what he created.
yes.
So-
This is what I told him that I wanted to see in an ordinance about stipends.
Okay.
And those, he wrote it up in the proper legalese terms. But
Okay.
that is what I wanted. At the time, I gave him that, there was 14 people that were receiving stipends. And since the fiscal year went into effect and all of the Collins Commission reports and salary adjustments and everything, it's now down to, as far as I know, two people. The last time I checked was, I think, about 2 months ago, and Donna told me that there were only 2 people that were actually drawing stipends.
Okay, so what I have here is A, all the stipends expired at the end of the present fiscal year.
Yes,
B, any stipends cannot exceed 20% of the employee's salary.
yes,
C, stipends cannot be used to fill out of, exceed the salary listing for any position. That's C.
yeah,
D, all the stipends must be approved by the city council and must be requested by a department head, right? Department
the
head.
department head has to be here to justify why this person is worthy of a stipend.
And E, stipends becoming effective for the day following a positive council vote.
Yes.
So that's what it is. So what is different than what you are requesting to add or change this ordinance?
Nothing.
So it is the same?
I can live with that as it was.
So this is what we currently have, right?
This is,
No, there is no ordinance presently. This is
Oh,
the new-
this is
this
the
is a
new
new-
ordinance that you want to create.
this is a new ordinance that Attorney Hooton created, and I assume that the section number, the 3.04.250, was the new ordinance number. I could be mistaken on that.
Okay. Okay. Counselor?
I think that we need to have the city attorney over here just to clarify or specify, see, this is the new number and when this can start.
The only, I hate to sound sarcastic or anything, I'm going to be dead and buried before this ever gets passed. This thing, if there was a thing of frequent mileage going up and down to the 3rd floor, this thing would be the winner.
Okay.
That's just my own personal opinion. I'm sorry if I'm sounding sarcastic, but
Oh, no,
this has been going on since the beginning of May. That's
So
what,
you
8
just
months?
pressing your feeling, like, how do you feel about this? So
I
I'm just
can
listening to the
live, I
counselor.
can live with what's there.
Okay, so, Counselor.
I would like to have, like I said, through you, Madam Chair, to have the city attorney over here to speak on this, but I'm okay if this is being approved. I have no problems, but I would like to have, the city attorney to speak up on this regard, so we don't have anything on the
There is a memo from the city attorney
we don't have,
attached. I don't know if they have that.
no, we don't have anything in here.
Okay, this was a memo from the city attorney on April 18th. And it said, Councilor Russell would like this to be on the next agenda.
Yeah, we have that.
Yeah, okay.
That would have been on the first thing in,
Then I have the following
Okay.
item was requested to be placed on the city council agenda.
yeah.
And proposed ordinance regarding required public notice to impact the resident 7 days prior to the implementation. This proposal is seeking a requirement that any city department implementing or changing to a city service infrastructure be obligated to notify residents directly impacted
Madam Chair, I don't have any problems if, would you approve, we can send it to the full council to discuss it over there and ask the city attorney to be present and discuss it at the legal of the full council.
I can live with that. But I would like to see something done on it. Instead of becoming part of tabled matters, going back to, well, we know what the thing on tabled matters, we are what, items from 2013?
So right now, okay, so the number is 14623, but like I say, we don't have it, so I would like, if we have something at the ordinance, so if nothing at the ordinance label, this is the first part of like the ordinance that we're gonna have it regarding stipend? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe it's a new provision, it's a new ordinance.
It's a new, this is gonna be, this is a new ordinance.
That's what we think, yep.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna table, and I'm gonna ask, Madam Chair, we can table, and we can ask also the city attorney to come at the next ordinance committee to discuss it and to make sure that the language and everything is already, on the way that it should be. If you want to add something or we have to delete something, that we can discuss it and send it to the full council.
So be it. Thank you.
Okay, motion to retable document 14623 and request the presence to our city attorney to be present for our next ordinance committee meeting.
So moved.
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. I also take document 47423, Phil, out of order. Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. 42423, fill position vacant longer than 6-month municipal service manager. It has been put on the agenda by our personal director, Scott Sayback. See?
Yes, thank you.
I was waiting for you to smile. So now I know your last name, Sayback. Yes, go ahead.
Great. Thank you very much tonight. So this actually goes a little bit with what was just previously discussed. It's essentially the maintenance of a compensation plan. And I think that the first step in regards to stipends was establishing a strong compensation plan to move forward with. But what's more important is actually to maintain it and making sure that everything lines up, that all the positions are correct, all the titles are correct, all the ranges are within market conditions. So that's actually part of what this proposal is. So the first part of this is requesting to fill the position of municipal services manager. It's been vacant for 10+ years. But this, as you know, that the city council has to approve any positions that have been vacant for more than 6 months. It's a very important position, especially for the DPW, because we do have a little bit of a non-traditional DPW. When you look at most DPW organizations, you have a director, usually have like an assistant director or a deputy director, and then you might have like a superintendent of streets, a superintendent of parks, a water superintendent, a sewer superintendent, on and on and on. In Lawrence, we don't really have that structure of superintendent of streets, superintendent of water, like most. So this would essentially fill that void and help with the administrative and the actual running of the departments for Director Jaime. So that's why this position is important for the DPW. The second part of it, if that's approved, is to place it in the compensation plan. I did have just a slight amendment to my previous memo to actually change it to a job group B instead of a D. I talked to Cafo Ainello and I talked to Jorge, and to better understand where it fits in. So this is a little bit of a different position than what other municipalities may have. And in the organizational chart, it would fill in better at that B position. And then the third part is to change the title and update the ordinance. So a municipal services manager is a title that's not really used commonly throughout the Commonwealth. Most positions like this are either titled the Assistant DPW Director or the Deputy DPW Director. So when we advertise it, we'll be able to get a better pool of candidates because they'll be able to see what exactly the position is. Most people don't look for a municipal services manager. They're looking to take the next step in their career in a DPW. They're looking for assistant engineer or assistant superintendent or superintendent or foreman, the more traditional names that they're titled. So that would be the third part of it if the first two are approved.
Director Saber, and this is something that we have as a current ordinance, or this is something that we are changes? I just want to be clear.
It is a current ordinance under the municipal services manager, and the proposal would just substitute the name municipal services manager and change it to deputy director.
Okay. So I do not have any question. I understand what is the item is about it. Councilor, any question? None? I do not think we need to change, that we need to order a public hearing for this. I don't think so, right?
No, last time the city attorney said that we wouldn't have
We
to.
don't need to, right? That's what I just want to double check to make sure that we're not gonna go over to any. Council, if it's not any question, can I send document 17423 with favor recommendation to the full council?
So move.
Properly seconds, all those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Counselor, if you have any question in the meantime, you always can reach out to Director Sabak and fill any question that you might have. I know exactly what this is about it, but I just want to encourage them if they do have.
Absolutely.
Thank you. If I don't see you, Merry Christmas. I think I'm going to see you before Christmas, but
Yes, yeah, I'll be here next week.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We do have, so, the gentleman, do you have 464, or let's take him first. This is, I don't have to take any motion because I already did the first one. The second item is 46423, Humker and Pill license, Christian Sanchez, Finis Marketing. Good evening, sir. Name and address for the record.
Good evening. I don't know if I can speak Spanish because my English is so-so.
Yeah, you do and you do good. So you do what I did try. If it's something that you didn't ask, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I don't know, the woman, the blonde woman, she told me, only you're going to ask me some questions for the business. I want to apply for the license for the, like the door-to-door, because I'm new in United States. I have a couple years, 1 year, like 8 months. This is my first time with the business and the marketing. Yeah, I know I work with the program ACP Benefit. It's a government program. I understand some people have this job not the correct way. They don't have a license. They do the work wrong. Like they take the information, not give the device or the offer for the customer. And so I'm here this night because I want to applying everything correct for the correct way.
So, your name and the address. For the record. Tu nombre y tu dirección para el récord. ¿Cuál es tu nombre y tu dirección?
Mi nombre es Christian Sánchez, mi dirección es Metúe 35 Greenhill Street.
Okay, so what am I going to do to help you out is I'm going to be asking your question in English and I'm going to translate it in Spanish for you,
Thank you.
okay? So, your business is going to be about door to door. So you're going to be to people's houses. Tu negocio va a ser que tú vas a ir puerta a puerta a la residencia a tocarle a las personas.
No, so it's like more, I go for some place, like a marketplace, Hispanic place, like American Food Basket, fruteria, something like that. I have a long time work with them, but they told me now they need my license for I can work inside because the winter is coming. It's so hard. I work outside. Sometimes I go for the customer house. Only they call me, but I don't like, for myself, touch the door. It's danger for me.
I got a little confused, which was why I asked you if that was going to be a business that we are going to be licenses for you to go to residents or people's doors. So thank God that you clarify, because we're not allowed to license anyone to go to people's house. So if it is on a public places, even though it's private,
Exactly.
like Market Basket, American Food Basket, so you're going to be approaching people and try to explain what your business is about it, right? So tú vas a ir a los lugares como Market Basket, American Food Basket, tú vas a hablar con las personas y explicarles de qué se trata el servicio. So,
Correct.
¿cuál es el servicio que tú ofreces? What is the service that you offer?
Right now we have the free phones, the free tablet. Yeah, the free phone, the free tablet. Right now we have the free internet for the house. It's what the company Verizon.
But I don't know why you was
Because
anticipating that you do not speak English, because you're being clearly speaking what you have to say. So, yes.
it's like a more.
Maria is laughing because I was going to use her as a resources for translation, but we didn't need to.
Thank you, Maria. The thing is, something for the law, the bank, money is so important for me. The English is no me alcanza. But I try. Thank you.
Service that you're going to be providing through the governor,
Correct.
right? This is not something that is,
Private? No.
yeah. Question? I think everybody's just familiar with that, I mean, this is great.
Thank
We even
you.
want to license this just to kind of talk to people, to give free stuff away, but, thank you for doing that.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Councilor Levy.
So why do you need to get a license? He needs to?
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen a lot of people
They-
with a table out of that's like a Market Basket and so many other business, but I don't even know that's,
What?
Yeah, they asking because anyone can approach into you and you don't know who that person is, but if he's being licensed through, what this does is he's gonna leave all that information, and if we have to run through police department, we know, at least we have some information where we can get him out.
For example, sometime I go for some place when the people can looking for free food. If they told me, you look good, you work good, but you have a license. I mean, no, not yet. And now I have the license from the Massachusetts, but not from the Lawrence. My goal for the next year is have a license in every country I work in, like Haybro, Methuen, Law, Lynn. It's like a Massachusetts.
okay,
general.
Madam Chair, through you, yes. But I saw that was like the people who got like the business, like this is part of the, a government program.
Yeah.
So I saw that they got some kind of permit or something through them instead of getting, some.
Still, he needs to have, Officer Cano wants to add more information about it. Yeah.
Okay, so, good evening.
Name and address for the record, sir.
Good evening. Abel Kano, Lawrence Police Department, 90 Lowell Street. My work address and my home address is 94 Maple Street in Lawrence. I wanted to give you a little bit of information regarding so there are different types of licenses for vendor, hawker, peddler, transient licenses. There is a process, and usually what we request is that when a business comes into the city and they want to open up, they have to start the process through Citizen Serve, and they'll go visit the inspectional department, and depending on what kind of business it is, whether it's food or merchandise, whether it's a business that has a door and you walk into it, like a cell phone store or something like that, or it's a food store and you walk in and you purchase, there's a process. Self-serve, permit for self-serve and making sure that everything is proper. If it's a business that is of the latter, which I mentioned, peddler, hawker, vendor, whether it's door-to-door or they want to take space on public city sidewalk, like a tent, or go and selling the frio, like they say, the little ice creams, you need a license. Part of the process is you do need a state license, and then you go and visit inspectional services. They'll vet you, and they'll assist this individual based on the business, and they will help them through the process. Then they go to the city clerk's office, and then they get what they call a business certificate if they need it. Sometimes when they have a state license, it overrides that business certificate at the clerk's level, because they have a state license. But the part that's really important is the reason why we want businesses to make sure that they register as a hawker, peddler license, is so that when they go door to door, the city of Lawrence will know who they are, what they're selling, and what they're doing. The other part to that is that they also need to go to the police station and notify the police department that they're going to be at a certain place at a certain time, so that when we get the call from a constituent who's concerned about maybe this is scam, maybe this is something that's illegal, or perhaps they're selling a service that seems odd, again, there's a transaction between the business and the customer, whether it's money or information. So there's a lot of cell phone people that are selling these government phones, and they're taking social security numbers, they're taking people's names and addresses. So it's really important for them to register with the city in order for us to vet them to make sure that they're not people that are not supposed to have this kind of information, they have like a felony record, and they're using it for the wrong thing. So I would strongly suggest that if this is the process, we need to streamline this so that they go through special services, they go to the city clerk, and then they go to the police department and do that process. If there's a confusion about it, then we just need to have the city attorney help us to make sure it's streamlined. But there is already something in play. I can't honestly tell you exactly how it is, because that's handled by inspectional services. I hope that helps.
Yeah, no, which is why they ask him to come in front of first, and then he go into all the department just to finalize the process. Yeah, everything is okay. Okay? So if it's not any other question, can I get a motion to send documents 46423 with favorable recommendation?
So moved.
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you. You do need to come back for our next city council
I don't
meeting.
understand
yo te lo-
qualified.
Okay, he's going to tell you what I just said. So you do need to come back to our next city council meeting. The officer is going to explain to you what I just said, okay?
Okay.
So, Councilor, can I get a motion to take 3 minutes recess, because we have a issue about an item that we don't have any agenda? Can I get a motion to take 3 minutes recess?
So moved.
I need to wait.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. So what I kind of surprised me today, that you were present when I was chairing the meeting 2 weeks ago. And you heard the table.
I remember that.
Yes.
And I thought that this
Yes.
meeting, everything was taken care of. That's why I was coming to this,
Yes.
so that we'd see it tonight.
They did get my
Go to the
picture.
full meeting.
Exactly.
That's what I was expecting.
No, thank you. So I'm glad that you and I, we are on the same page. So, but as you know, that you've been coming to our meetings, we can't, by law, we can't discuss any item that we don't have present. This is against the law. I can't talk.
Why were we told to come?
That's the question, that I want you to ease off, I mean, you goes, both.
I don't get it directly, it goes to a court, and then she asks us.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I encourage you to call the
Yeah.
clerk. You're the one that
That's the reason.
to say, why do you
I would've
ask
been
us?
45.
If they don't have anything in the agenda.
Elena will do that, the liaison. That's not my job.
Okay.
Elena,
Oh, my
no, there's another Elena from National Grid.
She lives
So,
on Ayer now.
unfortunately, I can't help you.
I'll have
Sounds like they
the
have
people, see, I'm just a designer, an engineer.
I know,
I'm
I
not
know.
the person who deals with the city directly like that. I'll pass it on. The person who does it.
I don't take people off. I said, people get lost for a variety of reasons. I said, I'll let you
This is
know.
scheduled for Tuesday, December 12th. Call them up yesterday and say, tell us, like, we have, I can give you a copy of the agenda. And you can go to talk to her and say, so like she said, well, maybe they could discuss our items, they don't have anything. We don't have anything.
Will you do the same thing? Talk to this person?
I will, but you have to do it because no, I am going to ask. But he's the customer, he has to take it first, okay? Okay? And I'm sorry, but it's nothing that I can do at this point, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
I'll see you again. Merry
Thank you.
Please tell me that.
No, I don't need to, I can meet with you, I say your number, you can call me, okay?
Can't do anything because it's not on the agenda.
Because I want to show you the parking lot.
Nothing that we can do at this point, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
They want something, but then they don't want it, they don't want to do anything. Which is normal, I mean, it's,
Can I get a motion to come out of recess?
So move.
Motion has been made, properly second, all those in favor? The ayes have it, so we're just gonna continue reading the agenda. Document 465. Which is why I always request your presence in my meeting, because you made it more interesting. So document 465-23 is a home rule petition to reduce municipal voting age in Lawrence. It has been put on the agenda by Julio Mejia, Greater Lawrence Tech School Committee member-elect. Can I get a motion to send document 465-23 to our city attorney and also to table?
Motion to, okay.
To send it to the city attorney
attorney.
and also to table document 465-23.
So move.
Motion has been made, properly second, all those in favor? The ayes have it. 467-23, request for handicap parking at 61 White Street, Stanley, Sandwich. Can I get a motion to send document 467-23 to Officer Cano and also to table?
So move.
Motion has been made, properly second, all those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. 468-23, recognize Lauren Pop Warner, AU team, Northeast Mass, PW Conference champion with 10 win, 0 loss record. It has been put on the agenda by Gregory De Rosario. Can I get a motion to send document 46823 with favorable recommendation to a full council?
So moved. Second.
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor? The ayes have it. 46923 Washington Street, no overnight parking, odd side from Manchester to Lake Street. It has been put in the agenda by Councilor De Rosario. Can I get a motion to send document 469 to Officer Cano, and also to table document 469?
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Outside Manchester, actually, we can send this up, because that doesn't have to go through. Can I get a motion to take document motion to withdraw your motion, because I have to send this to order a public hearing, because this is not something that I have to go through the Officer Cano. Sorry. Can you withdraw the motion?
Motion to withdraw. So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. 46923, can I get a motion to send it 469 with favorable recommendation to order a public hearing?
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Your report? Okay.
Good evening, councilors. It's a pleasure to be here, Maria. And the first one's going to be all of them are 2023. 291, 310, 333, 334, 338, 354, 355, 357, 362, 364, 365, 426, 427. That was the last time. Okay, I can call them tonight. Is it on for tonight?
Okay, so, okay.
So I have 4 items that I'd like to bring to your attention.
And then we're gonna be able to take you as a block.
Okay.
473 Maria, front page, is a naming of corner of Change and Center Street honoring Rosalia Montañez. It has been put in the agenda by Councilor Gregory De Rosario and Senator Pavel Payano. Can I get a motion to send document 47323 with favor recommendation? The ayes have it. Yes, Officer Cano.
I think that we should, I changed my mind. We'll do this first, and then we'll do that after.
Take all these items as a block. Can I get a motion to take document 291, 310, 333, 334, 338, 354, 355, 357, 362, 364, 365, 426, and 427 as a block and out of table. Motion has been made, properly seconds. All those in favor? The ayes have it.
The first item is document 291, which has been requested by Councilor De Rosario on behalf of a constituent, Mr. Rodriguez, who is requesting resident parking Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week, from 6 p.m. to 8 a.m. for the area of Walnut Street, between Myrtle Street and Bromfield Street. Walnut Street in this section is a one-way with traffic traveling northbound. Parking is permitted on both sides of the public way. This section has one commercial business currently operating as RD Grocery, located at 49 Walnut Street, which is at the corner of Myrtle Street. The rest of the houses on both sides of the street are considered multi-units, where the left or even side numbered, which is the west side of the street, are numbered 68, 58 through 60, 52, 127 through 131, for a total of 4 houses in this section. On the right side, or even number houses, there's number 57 through 59. The next one is 53, and then you have the store at 49 Walnut Street. Total of 2 residential and 1 commercial property. RG Grocery has 1 15-minute parking sign, petitioned and granted by the Lawrence City Council, and should be exempt from the resident parking restriction during its normal hours of operation. I do not foresee any issues related to this request. However, I would like to have this item forwarded for review and recommendation from the city engineer and city attorney. If the council passes the request, the signs should be placed in the following locations: from the northeast corner of Myrtle Street on Walnut Street, traveling north to a total of 216 feet onto the southeast corner of Bromfield Street on Walnut. This places the signs on the east and west side of the sidewalk, giving notice to residential parking during the appropriate hours.
Counselor, can I get a motion to send document 29123 with favorable recommendation to order public hearing pending that report from the city engineer and the city attorney?
So,
Motion has been made,
Second.
properly seconds, all those in favor?
aye.
The ayes have it.
Document 31023 is being made by petitioner Mrs. Torres for one vehicle space for a handicap parking sign to be placed in front of her residence located at 7 Campo Seco Street. I recommend this handicap parking sign to be granted. If the council passes the ordinance request, the signs should be placed on the following location: from the southeast corner of Ferry Street on Campo Seco Street, traveling south to a point 148 feet, for 20 feet to a point 168 feet. This places the handicap sign on the east side of the sidewalk in front of 7 Campo Seco Street.
Can I get a motion to send document 31023 with favorable recommendation to order public hearing?
Document 33323 is being requested by Councilor at Large Anna Levy on behalf of her constituent. The request is to place a stop sign on Grove Street at the intersection with Prospect Street. I do recommend this request to be granted. If the council passes the ordinance, the sign should be placed in the following location: from the northeast corner of Prospect Street on Grove Street, traveling east to a point 3 feet. This places a stop sign on the north side of the sidewalk on Prospect Street, on Prospect Street. Well, it depends on how you look at it. It's Grove Street, but, yeah, it's Grove Street, facing eastbound for the westbound traffic. So what happens is that the sidewalk is very small, and they actually are having, National Grid, Eversource is working on a substation there. So there really is no sidewalk that it used to be. The telephone pole's there, and that's where basically, right next to the telephone pole is gonna be the sign. So that's why,
Question
but,
is that they are gonna be having room, that they're gonna be placing the sign?
yes.
Okay.
So it should read Grove Street instead of Prospect Street. So that was my error. So I'll read it: places the stop sign on the north side of the sidewalk on Grove Street, facing eastbound for the westbound traffic.
Counselor, can I get a motion to send document 33323 with favorable recommendation to order public hearing?
So moved.
Motion has been made, properly second, all those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Next document is document 33423. The request is made by Councilor at Large Anna Levy on behalf of her constituents. The request is to place a stop sign on Grove Street at the intersection with High Street. So it's the other end of the street at the top of the hill. I do recommend this ordinance request to be granted. If the council passes the request, the sign should be placed at the following location: from the southwest corner of High Street on Grove Street, traveling west to a point 8 feet. This places the stop sign on the south side of the sidewalk. I did it again. On Grove Street, facing westbound traffic for the eastbound, facing westbound for the eastbound traffic.
3423 with favorable recommendation to order public hearing.
So moved.
Made, properly second. ayes have it.
Next document is 33823, which is being made by petitioner Ana Jarvis for the Iglesia Cristiana Pentecostal Ebenezer Church for one vehicle space for handicap parking sign to be placed in front of the church located at 327 Haverhill Street at the intersection with Hampshire Street. I recommend this handicap parking sign to be granted. If the council passes this ordinance, the ordinance requests the sign should be placed at the following locations: from the northwest corner of Haverhill Street on Hampshire Street, traveling north to a point 20 feet, for 20 feet to a point 40 feet. This places the handicap sign on the west side of the sidewalk on Hampshire Street at the intersection with Haverhill Street.
Document 33823 with favorable recommendation to order public hearing.
Next document is document 35423. The request is being made by District D Councilor Rodriguez on behalf of constituent Mrs. Melendez Vega for one vehicle space for a handicap parking sign to be placed in front of her residence located at 198 Union Street. I recommend this handicap parking sign to be granted. If the council passes this ordinance request, the sign should be placed at the following location: from the southwest corner of Brook Street on Union Street, traveling south to a point 65 feet for 20 feet to a point 85 feet. This places the handicap sign on the west side of the sidewalk in front of 198 Union Street.
Can I get a motion to send document 35423 with favorable recommendation to order public hearing?
So moved.
Document 35523 is being, let's see. I'm submitting this memo in response to document 355, which was placed on the agenda as new business on September the 26th of this year. The request was being made by petitioner Mrs. Adala for one vehicle space for a handicap parking sign to be placed in front of her residence located at 88 Bunker Hill Street. I recommend this handicap parking sign to be granted. If the council passes this ordinance request, the sign should be placed at the following location: from the northwest corner of Buswell Street on Bunker Hill Street, traveling west to a point 52 feet for 20 feet to a point 72 feet. This places the handicap sign on the north side of the sidewalk in front of 88 Bunker Hill Street. I did write some notes on here. Please note, this is a duplicate ordinance request, which is number 42623, which was placed on the agenda as new business November 8th, 2023. So there is another ordinance, 426, which I'll be reading eventually, which is for withdrawal.
Yep. Can I get a motion to send document 35523 with favorable recommendation to order public hearing? Been made properly second. All those in favor? The ayes have it.
Document 35723 is being made by petitioner Mrs. Zoe Valentin for one vehicle space for a handicap parking sign to be placed in front of her residence located at 115 Garden Street. I recommend this handicap parking sign to be granted. If the council passes the ordinance, the sign should be placed at the following location: from the northwest corner of Union Street on Garden Street, traveling west to a point 214 feet for 20 feet to a point 234 feet. This places the handicap sign on the north side of the sidewalk in front of 15 Garden Street.
Motion to send document 35723 with favorable recommendation to order public hearing.
So moved.
Properly second, all those in favor? The ayes have it.
Document 36223 is being made, the request is being made by resident Mr. Vargas and his spouse for one vehicle space for a handicap parking sign to be placed in front of his residence located at 47 White Street. I do recommend this handicap parking sign to be granted. And I just want to make a note of the reason why I usually would have probably said no. So both husband and wife, they are handicapped. The wife more severe than he is, although he's in a wheelchair. She also requires one. They live on White Street, and they have parking in the back. But they usually have to get picked up in the front, not in the back, because the back parking is too far for them to get to. And they need easier access so that when they get picked up for their appointments, whether it's like a wheelchair accessible van, they need to have accessibility closer. In the back, they have a ramp, but then they have to go all the way to Lebanon Street, or they have to go around the other side, which is even further away to the parking lot. So it's really a disadvantage for them using the back than for the front.
Access going through the front, nor in the back?
They'll have full access because they're right in the front. Their landing is flush with the sidewalk in the front. So if the council, I recommend the handicap parking sign to be granted. If the council passes this ordinance request, the sign should be placed at the following location: from the northeast corner of Lebanon Street on White Street, traveling north to a point 40 feet for 20 feet to a point 60 feet. This place the handicap sign on the east side of the sidewalk in front of 47 White Street.
Can I get a motion to send document 36223 with favorable recommendation to order public hearing? Motion has been made, properly seconds. All those in favor? The ayes.
I'm submitting this document number 364 by request from the petitioner, Mrs. De Jesus Cruz, for one vehicle space for a handicap parking sign to be placed in front of her residence located at 209 High Street. I recommend this handicap parking sign to be granted. If the council passes this ordinance request, the sign should be placed at the following location: from the southeast corner of Pratt Street on High Street, traveling south to a point 107 feet for a distance of 20 feet to a point 127 feet. This places the handicap sign on the east side of the sidewalk in front of 209 High Street.
Can I get a motion to send document 364 with favorable recommendation to order public hearing?
So moved.
Motion has been made, properly seconds. All those in favor? The ayes have it.
Document 36523 is being requested by petitioner Mrs. Perez for one vehicle space for a handicap parking sign to be placed in front of her residence located at 71 Berkeley Street. I recommend this handicap sign to be granted. If the council passes the ordinance request, the sign should be placed at the following location: from the northwest corner of Jackson Street on Berkeley Street, traveling west to a point 163 feet for a distance of 20 feet to a point 183 feet. This placed the handicap sign on the north side of the sidewalk in front of 71 Berkeley Street.
Can I get a motion to send document 36523 with favorable recommendation to order
So
public
moved.
hearing?
Document 42623 is the repeat document. It's the duplicate document which I'm requesting to have withdrawn. It is regarding
Yep.
Councilor Del Rosario's request for petitioner Adala.
Can I get a motion to send document 42623 with favorable recommendation for withdrawal? Motion has been made, properly second. Is all those in favor? The ayes have it.
Document 42723 was made by petitioner business owner Mrs. Rodriguez of the business called Natural Hair Center and Tips, located at 121 Myrtle Street, for a 15-minute parking restriction posted Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Myrtle Street is allowed parking on this odd number side, which is the north side, which is also right next to Walnut Street. It's the corner business, but restricted and narrow, to say the least. I do recommend the request to be granted, since they do not have another alternative for parking. If the council passes the request, a sign should be placed at the following location: from the northeast corner of Walnut Street on Myrtle Street, traveling east to a point 40 feet for a total distance of 20 feet. End point will be 60 feet. This places a sign on the north side of the sidewalk in front of the business at 121 Myrtle Street.
Can I get a motion to send document 42723 with favorable recommendation to order public hearing? Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor? The ayes have it.
I have some items I wanted to discuss, if possible. Yep. So I'm not sure if you have before you, on the list itself, I believe it's on page 3. Line item, actually, page 2 probably, line item 218 and 217. Okay. And I have 2 more, but I want to take these 2 first. Okay, so line item document 217 was brought before the ordinance committee by me and read regarding a business called Helen's Tailor and Dry Cleaning by she owns, the owner is Mrs. Garcia, located at 275 Broadway, and she was requesting for a loading zone. Document 21823 is the same owner, but this is considered Helen's Dry Cleaning down the road at 313 Broadway for a loading zone as well. So I explained to her that the city has a contract with the meters, and therefore this is not possible. The people have to pay if they loading, unloading, if they have whatever they have, and they have to pay the meters. And they can load and they can pay as much as they need, but she can't have a loading zone exclusive for her just to have it. I explained it to her. I suggested that she go to the mayor's office to discuss this with them, to see if there's an alternative, what can be done, but I would be withdrawing this, and we withdrew this. I still find it on the agenda. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to bring this before the council again. So I think this is an oversight, perhaps, and we can have this deleted from the agenda, But I think we've discussed this, and I think this is a non-issue, correct?
So have you ever talked to the city attorney about this specific item? I know that even though they know they have little that they have to pay for, they think that they can reserve the space for their business. Do you wish us to send it to withdrawal and you can talk to them and then you can go back to the businesses and tell them what would be the alternative?
I've already done that. It's their job to go to the, through the proper channels and vet for their business, for what they need. I think it serves no purpose to put a loading zone sign in front of a meter that really is not going to change the fact that they still have to pay. Whether it's a truck delivery, or, you know, it doesn't change anything.
What they are looking to do is just to reserve an space that when they need to download something, unload the truck, they can have a space. The people cannot be parking for 2 or 3 hours or probably all day.
But that's a violation of the meter, because how do you, when is the delivery? If it was every day at the same time, same day, it'd be different. But whenever they decide, it's, one is a dry cleaning business, the other one is a tailor. I don't see any deliveries for product, I mean, that would require that. But again, I think that the proper thing for them to do is to, as I put in my report, it says here, I suggested that Ms. Garcia reach out to the mayor's office to confirm this information and for guidance as she requires further assistance. I don't think that the city can break the contract and then just have an exclusive.
Can I get a motion to send document 218 and 217, the February recommendation for withdrawal? Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor? The ayes have it.
The next document is document number 123. And 104, yes. It should be in page 3 or 4.
Can I get a motion to take document 123 and 10423 out of table? Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor? The ayes have it.
I'll try not to be too long-winded. I'll take 100 first. The request was made by the mayor, Brian DePena, Del Rosario, Council Del Rosario, Council Ana Levy, Council Selena Reyes, and the DPW director, Jorge Jaime. For both of these documents, one was for Washington Street, no parking anytime on the west side of the public way, even number side. I went there, I measured, I did my calculations, I did my report, and I made a recommendation that this be put before the acting city commission engineer and also to Director Jorge Jaime for guidance, review, and expertise and recommendation, because this is not something I can definitively say, yes, this is something that has to be collaborative, in collaboration, to make a study, to make sure that this is a good idea and that we can do it. So that's for 100. 104 was for no parking anytime on the west side, which is the even number of Congress Street, from Olive Avenue to Haverhill Street. I did my study, and I also did the same request. So is it that we need to resend this back to them? And then they come up with, because this is August, and we're still waiting.
So, at this time, what we are going to do is, we are going to be make a motion to first table the document.
Madam Chair, and forgive me for interrupting, but I think there's line item 100, 101, 102, 103, and 104. They're all in the same grouping, so they all fall under the same guys.
Okay, so.
And I think that they should collectively be resent up to figure out what's going on and where the status is.
Okay, so let me just table those two documents that I take it out of table, and then we can make the same recommendation for the last three. Can I get a motion first to table document 123 and 10423, and also to refer both items to the city engineer and the DPW director? The second, all those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Maria, you got that. Retable. So, so what are we gonna do is, since that we have this on the table, and I know that Councilor Levy and Councilor Selena Reyes both are in the rest of this item, I'm not gonna move them up out of table. You can go and talk to the city engineer and also to DPW director just to move those items up. Because it makes no sense for me to take it out when it's actually referring by you, so you can go and talk to them.
Thank you.
I don't see you before, Merry Christmas. I think I will, but
Merry Christmas. And Happy New Year, while we're at it. Yeah.
We don't. Okay, thank you. Motion to adjourn.
can I get a motion to adjourn? Favor, public that is always make my meeting more interesting, and I wish that I can see them to continue coming, even though I'm not gonna be serving. It's a mixed emotion moment for me. I don't know if we are gonna be able to have another ordinance committee meeting, but as a chair of ordinance committee, being serving for 10 years, it's something like is in my heart. I don't even know how this is going to be when I don't have to be thinking about my ordinance committee meeting on Tuesday. I'm sure that I'm gonna be coming like Councilor Russell, and we probably gonna be sitting in the same bench, just advocating for our items. And I feel, and I share your sentimental about being present, speak on behalf of our constituents, and always to be out there to serve our city. It doesn't matter from which point of this room we're gonna be sitting, our voice still can be heard. And I know with the two wonderful councilor women, sisters in office, I know that when they see my name, in your name, I know they're gonna be spitted up. This is why we are gonna be keeping our finger crossed. But for all of those who are seeing and listening to us, watching through the comfort of their home, Merry Christmas and a healthy, and my favorite people in the back that we never see them, and from John, and my favorite one, that they both are sitting over there. There. Bill? Bill is there, and John, both are there.
Yes.
So my two favorite one, that they always make this possible. I know that sometimes they have to go through a lot of headache, just because sometimes I have to be taking my time. But I really appreciate the job and the service that they have provided through us, and to be able to us getting into all our residents' home without interruption. Thanks to them. Merry Christmas to my good friend Brenda Rosie, who always has been by my side. And I wish you not only this Christmas, many more years that we can bump into each other and continue helping our city from any way that we can possible can. Thank you all. Maria, no words to express to you. Like I said, this is something that is part of me. I don't want to get into emotional time, but this is I can't close this without saying how fortunately I has been serving with both of you, that you always, it doesn't matter rain or shine, we always committed to be here for our resident. I know that I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be serving from another different level, but my heart is always going to be with all of you. And of course, Officer Cano, if I don't see you, also, Merry Christmas to you. Great person to work with. Great person to work with, and thank you. So motion to adjourn has been made. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.